Get ready to uncover the secret world of White House security. We're diving into the ultimate fortress, where the president and their family call home. Buckle up as we explore 15 mind-blowing features keeping them safe from harm. Let's kick it off with number 15. Infrared heat seekers. You might think nighttime is the perfect time to sneak past security, but these sneaky sensors have got you covered. They can spot even the tiniest heat signs, making sure no one slips under the radar undetected. But don't think these infrared superpowers are just limited to spotting sneaky humans. No, they're on the lookout for feathered friends and furry critters too. From birds soaring overhead to squirrels scampering across the lawn, these sensors keep an eagle eye out for any movement. And it's not just surface-level surveillance. These laser-powered detectors scan the sky and even go underground, leaving no stone unturned or, in this case, no bush unchecked. The best part, they're completely invisible to us mere mortals, making them the ultimate unsung heroes of White House security. But you've got to wonder, sometimes a squirrel is just a squirrel. There have been instances where these super efficient sensors have picked up on an intruder only for it to be revealed as a tiny critter going about its business. As long as there aren't any secret spy mice on the payroll, everyone's good to go. But let's not forget, these advanced sensors give the security team a crystal clear picture of what's going on in real time. Now that we've got our infrared surveillance covered, let's talk about keeping the skies safe. You guessed it, surface-to-air missiles, SAMs, are part of the White House security plan. Washington, D.C.'s airspace is strictly off-limits, and with good reason, too many planes in the area can compromise the president's safety. It's all about minimizing risks and keeping those skies clear for business as usual. With SAMs on standby, any unwanted aerial visitors are swiftly intercepted, ensuring the White House remains a secure fortress. Now, you might be wondering how planes even dare to venture near the most heavily protected airspace in the U.S. The answer lies just across the Potomac River. Ronald Reagan National Airport in Virginia is the closest major airport. But here's the deal. Any plane not on a direct path to land there or deviating from its approved flight plan better watch out. You won't get 3 strikes. Instead, you'll receive one and only one warning. If that's ignored, prepare for an intense reality check as surface-to-air missiles take center stage. What's more, this isn't just a single defense system. The White House is surrounded by multiple, strategically placed missile launchers, guaranteeing a lethal intercept from any direction. While the public doesn't know their exact locations, whispers about the cutting-edge Avenger missile defense system on top of the White House have been circulating for years, hinting at the sheer sophistication of its aerial defenses. Let's dive into some of the advanced security measures that keep watch over the skies above the White House. While we can't confirm if that Avenger missile defense system on the roof is more than just a rumor, one thing is certain. There are state-of-the-art laser systems in place to detect any potential airborne threats from up to a mile away. These early warning systems send alerts to the air defense teams, giving them precious time to react. But here's where things got tricky, with drones becoming increasingly accessible and affordable. The White House had to rethink its security strategy. It all started back in 2015 when an unmanned drone unexpectedly landed on the lawn, slipping under radar due to a lack of heat signature while it was still airborne. However, as soon as it touched down, all the necessary alarms sounded, serving as a wake-up call for the White House to update its defenses and account for this new kind of threat. You can imagine how intense things got when that drone landed on White House grounds in 2015. Every agent sprang into high alert mode, racing to locate the operator. But what they found instead was a rather unexpected culprit, a curious White House employee who decided to have a bit of fun after their shift ended. Although the incident was more silly than sinister, it served as a stark reminder that the White House security had a blind spot when it came to drones. This close call led to some serious upgrades. The Secret Service now has its own fleet of drone detecting and disrupting aircraft, complete with advanced security cameras for an unparalleled view of the premises. These high-tech tools not only fill in the gaps but also provide valuable intel, ensuring a safer environment for everyone. Speaking of safety measures, let's move on to the next crucial layer of protection: vehicle barriers. You might think it's all high-tech gadgets and super spies, but when it comes to protecting the president and the White House, sometimes it's the smallest details that count. Take those imposing concrete and steel barriers surrounding the compound. They may not get as much attention as some other security measures, but trust us, they're crucial in keeping unwanted vehicles at bay. Picture this: a twisted metal battering ram hurtling towards the president's doorstep at 100 miles per hour. Not exactly the kind of VIP welcome the White House is going for. These barriers are designed to stop speeding cars dead in their tracks and keep the compound safe from even the most basic threats. They're like a modern-day moat, guarding this heavily fortified castle. And as an added safety net, sidewalks around the White House were closed off with barriers back in 2017, keeping pedestrians at a safe distance of about 25 yards. Now that we've got the basics covered, let's move on to another essential part of White House security: food testers. You might think we've entered the age of high-tech espionage, but in the world of presidential protection, ancient threats still require old-school solutions. That's where our trusty food testers come in. Yes, you heard that right. The president has a team of experts whose sole job is to taste every dish before it reaches the boss's plate. It might sound like something out of Game of Thrones, but this medieval method is actually a vital part of White House security. With millions of meals served daily, even the slightest mistake could have serious consequences. These culinary superheroes aren't just on the lookout for poison, though they're also the first line of defense against foodborne illnesses, ensuring the president stays healthy and headache-free. Well, because who needs an excuse to skip a meeting in the Oval Office? And did you know that even before those ingredients hit the stove, the Secret Service is already working behind the scenes to make sure no one's tampering with the grub? Take Barack Obama's 2013 White House dinner snub as proof. The president just wasn't having it without his trusty food tester by his side. But before we dive into the sneaky tech that's got our backs, let's talk about the chefs behind those presidential plates. Every White House culinary mastermind goes through an intense vetting process. Think of it like a top-secret spy school for sauciers and sauce chefs. And why? So they can keep the president safe from any kitchen shenanigans. If something dodgy does slip into the menu, our trusty taste tester will be the first to sound the alarm, with White House medical staff hot on their heels. But what's even more fascinating is what's happening beneath our feet. Literally, the White House has a secret network of pressure pads sprinkled throughout its floors and hidden in the grass on the lawn. It's not just about catching burglars. It's a clever way to keep an eye out for something much more sinister. Or at least, that's what we'll be diving into next. Now you might be wondering, what's the real deal with those sneaky floor sensors? It's not about catching thieves or tracking down intruders. It's actually a high-tech way to keep tabs on the president's every move. Imagine having your very own Marauder's map, but instead of navigating Hogwarts, you're following the footsteps of the leader of the free world. With these pressure pads, security can track the president's whereabouts 24/7, so they'll always know where he is, or whether that's in the Oval Office or strolling through the halls. But here's the catch: managing this system isn't a walk in the park. The White House is an enormous 6-story building spanning over 55,000 square feet, packed with hundreds of staff members going about their daily business. It's like trying to keep tabs on a bustling metropolis, no easy feat. The daily foot traffic inside the White House is definitely electric, but don't worry, security has got this covered. Since the president's schedule is packed with meetings, self-care, and a few fun hobbies, it's likely that the eagle-eyed monitors can keep track of their every move, no matter where they go. Now, let's talk about what it takes to actually get inside those iconic walls. Think you can just roll up to the White House and take a peek around? Sorry, not so fast. While 30,000 visitors pass through the gates daily, only a select few get to step foot inside. The good news is that there are plenty of awesome tours offered in 11 different languages, but getting on one of these groups isn't a cakewalk. Whether you're a world leader or just a super enthusiastic history buff, be prepared to submit your application at least 21 days in advance. Let's dive into what happens behind the scenes when someone wants to get a glimpse inside the White House. Submitting an application 21 days in advance might seem like red tape, but it's actually crucial for security. These checks ensure they've got a head count and can dig deeply into potential visitors' backgrounds. We're talking about digging up info on jobs, addresses, criminal records, group affiliations, the list goes on. No wonder much of the White House remains off limits, even with those high-level security guards by your side during tours. Some secrets just stay hidden, it seems. And let's not forget, if you're planning a visit, leave that firearm at home. We know carrying guns is legal in the US, but this is the president's house after all. Now, on to our next topic wall. Have you ever stopped to notice those windows on the White House facade? Time to shine a light on those 147 windows that make up the White House facade. And yes, you might be surprised to know that the president themselves often work with their back to one. But before we get too jealous of their view, let's talk security. With so many panes of glass, it could seem like an easy target for a would-be troublemaker. But think again. Every single White House window is fortified with extra thick bulletproof glass that can withstand even the toughest attacks. Now, you're probably thinking, surely no one could ever get close enough to cause harm. Well, surprisingly, someone did manage to make it past security back in 2012 and attempted to shoot through those windows from over a mile away using a high-powered rifle. But their shot was caught mid-air by the reinforced ballistic glass. You might be surprised to learn that the cutting-edge security glass we see in the White House today is actually a relatively recent addition, installed just a few decades ago in response to a tragic terrorist incident in Oklahoma City. But before that upgrade, the White House relied on other clever ways to keep its occupants safe. Let's trot along to our next secret, number 7, guard dogs. Yes, you read that right. These furry friends are an essential part of the president's protective squad. Not just any pets, mind you, but highly trained guard dogs that can respond faster than any human on 2 legs. It may seem old school compared to drones and surveillance systems, but trust us, these 4-legged heroes have saved the day more times than you can count. Here's how we can rewrite the paragraph to be new and distinct. But these aren't your average pups. We're talking about highly skilled Belgian Shepherds who've been part of the Secret Service team since 1975. These talented canes may look cute, but they're trained to tackle tough situations. Before hitting the White House grounds, they undergo an intense 20-week course with their handlers, learning to respond to commands and defend their VIP family members. And don't worry, these brave dogs are gentle enough around kids, while still packing the punch needed to take down potential threats. Take Hurricane and Jordan, for instance. When a fence jumper threatened President Obama, these 2 speedy pups sprang into action, chasing the intruder at 30 miles per hour. Though they might have taken a few knocks in the scuffle, their quick thinking and bravery helped bring the situation under control. Talk about some protection. Let's rewrite the paragraph, but that's not all. If an intruder messes with these guard dogs, they could end up facing serious consequences. Hitting a Secret Service canine is treated as assaulting a law enforcement officer and can lead to charges of trespassing. Now, let's talk about the ultimate threat: nuclear war. It might be a daunting topic, but it's crucial for us to understand how our leaders prepare for it. As the president's primary responsibility is to protect the nation, they need to have a plan in place to ensure their survival and we're about to dive into what that looks like when disaster strikes. You won't find any nuclear shields protecting the White House itself, but there's a secret underground bunker that serves as its ultimate defense system. Think of it like an escape plan for when things get really intense. While details about this hidden hideout are scarce, we do know that in 1987, President Reagan added a secret tunnel during his administration, leading him directly to a subterranean elevator. But he wasn't the first. FDR had a similar tunnel built years ago, allowing him to zip from the White House to the Treasury Department undetected. And more recently, even President George W. Bush has been caught on camera taking refuge in this emergency space after 9/11. Giving us a glimpse into what it takes to keep our leaders safe from harm. You might have noticed something pretty ordinary around the White House: a simple steel fence lining its perimeter. But let's not underestimate its power. While top-secret bunkers and anti-aircraft missiles grab most of our attention, sometimes it's the little things that make all the difference in keeping our leaders safe. Think about it. This unassuming fence has been quietly doing its job for years, and you probably walked right past it without giving it a second glance. But trust us when we say that what lies beyond those steel posts is anything but ordinary. You might think you know your White House history, but get ready for a surprising fact. The iconic steel fence around the White House wasn't always there. It all started back in 1801 when Thomas Jefferson decided to add some style to the grounds with his very first fence, which was basically just a low-key decorative thing. Fast forward through centuries of changes and updates, and we get to the Taft era, who let their livestock graze on the front lawn because why not? But today's White House fence is way more high-tech than you'd expect. Standing at an impressive 11 feet tall, this isn't your grandma's fence. It's a heavy-duty rebar and steel barrier with pointy ends to keep would-be climbers from scaling it. And here's the coolest part. Hidden beneath that intimidating exterior lies some serious pressure-sensing tech, which sounds the alarm the moment someone even touches it. Talk about staying one step ahead of security threats. You thought we were done with the surprises. Well, get ready for another spooky twist. The White House is said to be haunted. Yes, you read that right. Many people have claimed to see ghostly apparitions roaming its hallowed halls. And we're not just talking about any ordinary spirits, it's some seriously VIP paranormal activity going on here. From former presidents like Abraham Lincoln to first ladies and even staff members, there are plenty of reported sightings of these otherworldly visitors. Now, you might be thinking, Lincoln, isn't he the guy who gave that famous Gettysburg Address? Well, it seems his ghost is still making appearances, with tales of him being spotted all over the White House. Even Winston Churchill, the former British Prime Minister, had a chilling encounter literally. He swore he met Lincoln's ghost in a White House bathroom, because why not? So if you ever find yourself wandering around the White House and catch a glimpse of someone who doesn't quite seem to be there, don't be alarmed. It might just be Honest Abe dropping by for a visit. Let's separate fact from fiction for a sec, even if you're not buying into the paranormal activity. Winston Churchill's account is still pretty wild. But wait, it gets even better. Lincoln's ghost allegedly has a favorite hangout spot in the White House, the Yellow Oval Room and his namesake bedroom. And get this, First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt claimed to see him all the time while working there. Now, you might think she was just being polite, but what about Ronald Reagan's dog Rex? According to reports, Rex would bark furiously whenever he sensed Lincoln's ghost lingering by the doorway of his old bedroom. Maybe Lincoln's spirit is keeping watch, serving as a moral compass for current leaders, or maybe it's the ultimate security guard who needs alarms when you've got Honest Abe on patrol. You've seen those drones buzzing above the White House, but have you ever wondered about the unsung heroes on top? The sharpshooters up on that roof are the ultimate watchdogs. Armed with high-powered sniper rifles and an eagle eye for detail, they keep a 24/7 watch. Dressed in stealth mode black, these rooftop warriors come in pairs, sending chills down anyone's spine. What makes them even more elite? They're handpicked from the world's best, mostly former soldiers who've got the skills to back it up. To stay on the team, they need to prove their marksmanship every month by hitting targets a whopping 1,000 yards away. One miss and they're out of the White House security squad. Talk about high stakes. But here's the deal. This team doesn't just take a break after one job well done. They've got to keep pushing their limits every single month. That's because the president demands only the best for their safety, and these snipers are always on call. You might catch a glimpse of them when the sun is out, standing tall and unmissable. It's like they're saying, "We're here, we're watching, and you're in good hands." Now that we've got our eyes on the sky, let's talk about what happens when threats come from a different direction, the air. Imagine if someone tried to poison the president through their environment. Sounds far-fetched. Think again. That's why the White House has top-notch air filtration systems working round the clock to keep the air clean and safe for everyone inside. It's all about staying one step ahead of potential dangers. And when it comes to a job this crucial, only the best will do. It might seem like a no-brainer. Fresh air is essential for any living space, but when you're talking about the White House, where hundreds of people breathe the same air every day, it becomes a serious security concern. Just think about it from staff to visitors. There are so many individuals passing through those doors daily, and each one could potentially bring something unwanted with them. Imagine if someone walked in carrying an illness like the flu or worse. In close quarters, germs can spread lightning fast, putting our nation's leader at risk. It's a silent threat that can't be ignored, and that's why having a top-notch air filtration system is more than just a nicety, it's a non-negotiable for White House safety. But what about the unseen threats? That's where the White House's advanced air filtration system comes in, a vital defense against silent dangers like airborne pathogens that could compromise national security. You might wonder, who else keeps those doors secure? The answer is the Secret Service, an elite team founded all the way back in 1865. Their mission is to safeguard not just the president, but their families too, from the moment they step into office and for a full decade afterwards. These highly trained agents are literally willing to put it all on the line, no questions asked all. They're the first and last line of defense for our nation's leader. The Secret Service, an elite force standing guard around the clock. Their rigorous training prepares them for anything, from a casual jogger on the White House lawn to a high-stakes nuclear threat. These highly skilled agents are always on alert, patrolling the grounds with pistols, shotguns, and assault rifles at the ready. But there's more to this security detail than meets the eye. It's estimated that for every agent you see, 2 more are lurking out of sight, waiting to spring into action. With a massive team of 7,000 strong, including 1,300 in the uniform division, and many more providing technical and administrative support, the Secret Service leaves no stone unturned when it comes to protecting America's president. Whether it's mealtime, a doctor's visit, or even a bathroom break, these dedicated agents are always watching over their charge. And when the president steps out, rest assured they're never farther than 10 minutes from top-notch medical care. Because in this high-stakes world of presidential protection, the the Secret Service is always one step ahead. Talk about going above and beyond. The Secret Service even carries bags of the president's blood just in case. These agents are more than just bodyguards, they're like family to the president, always having their back and ready for anything. And when it comes to potential threats, let's just say the bad guys don't stand a chance against this elite team.